Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage, which make it easier to find classes by length or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free. We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for a deeper stretch. You'll only need your chair today, and let's get started. So we're going to move forward in our chair and take just a moment to make sure our feet are grounded to the earth. Okay, so take just a moment, also thinking about our sits bones. So we want to have everything equally weighted and not leaning one way or the other. Let's go ahead and flip our palms up towards the ceiling. Make sure your shoulders are down out of the ears. Heart is lifted. Abdominals are engaged. Let's close our eyes and just breathe. Taking just a moment to connect to your natural breath here. And then let's begin to elongate the breath. We're going to inhale a little more deeply and exhale a little more completely. Do that one more time. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. And let's roll our shoulders. So kind of forward and then up. And then squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you and then down. And let's do that again. Forward, up. Squeeze those shoulder blades and down. And then we're going to reverse it. Excuse me. And let's do that one more time. So I'm kind of squeezing my shoulder blades behind me. I'm squeezing my shoulders up and forward. Very, very good. So we're going to place our hands on the seat of the chair behind us. Okay? We're going to lift up through the heart and squeeze your shoulder blades back. Now, let your ear, that right ear, just kind of fall towards that right shoulder. So it's just a little deeper stretch. I don't know if you feel the difference, but squeezing those shoulder blades back and then letting that head fall is quite a stretch for me. Okay, let's release that. Takes just a moment, and then we're going to do the other side, okay? So let's put our hands back here on the chair, squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you, and then we're going to let that other ear fall towards that shoulder. So just hanging out here, taking just a moment to feel the stretch. One more breath here, and let's go ahead and release that and bring those shoulders forward and maybe do another shoulder roll. Okay? Or maybe, you could even do one at a time if you like that. All right, very, very good. So we're going to bring our hands to our heart. And I want you to think about lifting up through so the crown of the head to the ceiling, extending through the spine, and kind of lift your throat open. Does that make sense? So I'm not really letting the head fall, but I just want you to think about opening up through the throat. Okay, so here's our starting position for our cow pose. Now, maintaining this openness, let's grab the back of the chair and see if you can open any further. So I'm just kind of using the chair as a little bit of leverage here to open, stretching through the sternum, right? The upper chest, you feeling that? Upper arms a little bit. All right, now we're going to release that and round down into your cat pose. So pulling that belly button in towards the spine, making sure you look down. So one of the things I see in my classes, my in-person classes a lot, is people are in cat pose like here, right? So I really want you to let that chin fall. Feel the full stretch through the upper back and the neck. Okay, let's come back. Grab the back of the chair again. Remember, we want to lift through the crown of the head. Think about opening through the throat. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. And then let's do that cat pose one more time. One more breath here and release. Okay, very, very good. So just a little bit deeper of a stretch in our cat and cow pose. All right, so we're going to move into an extended mountain. So I'm going to take my fingertips to the ceiling. Notice that I immediately pull my shoulders down. So we want to make sure those shoulders stay down. Let's bring our palms together, interlace fingers, pointer fingers to the ceiling. Okay, we're going to lean our mountain to the right and feel that stretch. So I'm keeping this hip down. I'm feeling a nice stretch here in the side waist. And now I'm going to just turn and I'm going to look up at the ceiling. So that just adds, that twist adds a little extra stretch to that side waist. Let's take that twist out. We're going to come up to the ceiling and we're just going to go the other side, okay? So first of all, feel that stretch, and then we're going to turn and look up at the ceiling. Nice sideways stretch here. Take the twist out, come all the way up, and bring those hands down to your thighs. Okay, so you're feeling a little stretch here through the side waist. Okay, let's think about our legs for a little bit now. So we're going to move into a crescent lunge. So my right knee is going to open up. Okay, so that's my very first movement. Now I'm going to let this knee fall down towards the floor. Okay, I'm holding onto that chair. That's just fine. So let this knee fall straight down towards the floor. Maybe if you think it feels okay, you can push that foot back just a little bit, okay? So I'm up on those back toes, and I think about it as the back of the kneecap towards the ceiling. So that's kind of the cue in my head. If that's too much, you're just going to bend that knee and let the knee fall straight down towards the floor, okay? Let's everybody release that for just one moment, and then we're going to do it again. So we're stretching into the front side of this leg. So it's not only the quadricep, but we're getting into that hip flexor. Relax this glute. One more breath here. Okay, let's go ahead and face forward. Take just a moment. Okay, we're going to do the other side now. So we're going to take that left knee, we're going to open it wide, and then we're going to take the opposite knee and let it fall down towards the floor, okay? Remember, hold on to that chair is fine. Maybe your hands are on that leg. It's fine, whichever feels good to you. But what I do want you to do is lift your heart. So if you're feeling like you're letting your heart fall forward, think about lifting up, crown of the head to the ceiling. Now, do you want a little more? We're going to push that foot back of the kneecap towards the ceiling. Release into this glute a little bit, right? Just relaxing the glute. Okay, let's release that, and we're going to do that one more time. Ready? Here we go. Feeling the stretch. Remember, crown of the head to the ceiling. My heart is lifted. One more breath here, and go ahead and face forward. And let's grab a sip of water. We're going to move into gate pose. So we're going to start by just moving over towards the right side of our chair. So I'm holding onto the chair here, and I'm going to extend this leg long. So you want to think about this leg being grounded. Remember how at the beginning of class we grounded our foot to the earth? So I want you to really think about this leg and foot being grounded to the mat, to the floor. And then this leg is going to be nice and extended out. So I'm up on the side of my foot. So I'm not pointing my toe. I'm not going to be working the quad here. We're going to be working the side, okay? All right, very good. Now I'm going to hold the chair with my left hand. My right hand is going to come up towards the ceiling. And then I'm just simply going to bend my supporting elbow as I lean. Do you feel that sideways stretching? All right, one more breath here. Let's come up. Now, this hand is going to slide down my leg. If it feels okay to let go of the chair, your opposite arm is going to come up, and you're going to let this hand just slide down. All right, let's come up and do that one more time. I'm going to extend first, and then I'm going to lean into it. So gate pose. And then up we go. Opposite arm is going to extend and then lean. So this hand just kind of slides down that leg. All right, very good. Okay, let's come center. And we're going to do the other side. So now I'm going to just slide my hips to the other side of my chair. Extend that leg long. Remember, think about having this leg grounded to the earth. So you're feeling very solid on this chair, right? So this leg is extended. This is the hand we're going to start with, all right? So we're going to extend it up to the ceiling. Now I'm just going to bend my supporting arm as I lean into that stretch. Should feel really, really good. So I'm trying to touch the wall with these fingertips, right? And let's do the other side now. Now my fingertips go to the ceiling first, and then I lean and feel that stretch. All right, let's do the other side one more time. Lengthen it up. Bend that supporting elbow as you lean into your gate pose. Oh, it should feel good. And let's come up and we're going to go the other side. And release. Let's all come back up into seated position. So the next pose is cow face pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend our right arm out, and I want the palm facing back. Bend at the elbow and place that hand in the small of your back. Now the other hand is going to come out, and that palm is going to face forward. And then you're going to bend that arm, that elbow, and bring that palm to the middle of the back. So let me just turn around and show you what's happening behind me. So maybe you can clasp your fingers together. Don't worry if that doesn't work. It's okay, right? You're still going to get the stretch. But I'm lifting up through my heart, right? Lifting up and just kind of squeezing behind me to feel that openness happening. Not only am I feeling a good stretch through my chest, the sternum is lifted, my arms are getting a good stretch too. One more breath here, and we're going to release that. How'd that feel? I know it can be intense, so just do what works for you, right? I'm giving you can just choose, where you want that arm placement to be. So let's do the other side, and then we're going to add one little thing on, okay? So first of all, that palm is going to face back, and we'll bend at the elbow and place that hand in the middle of my back. And then the other palm faces out, okay? And then that is going to come up. Maybe I clasp my fingers behind me. So the other thing that's interesting is that one side maybe you can clasp and the other side you can't. Super common. This one for me, I've got way more availability, right? You see how much more I can squeeze? It happens, right? It's pretty common. I'm lifting up through my chest, feeling that stretch. One more breath, and then I'm going to release. So we're going to do one more thing. And I want to tell you, another thing you can do is grab your shirt. So we could be doing this with a strap as well if you wanted to do, use a yoga strap. But I decided just to, you can just grab your shirt if you want to. That's another option. So the only thing we're going to add is we're going to add our legs. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Right arm extends out, palm faces back. That one comes to the lower part of the back. Opposite arm, palm faces out, and then that one comes in, okay? And then maybe you clasp the hands behind you, or maybe you don't. The main thing I want you to think about is lifting up. Sternum is lifted. One more breath. Let's release that, and then we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to cross the other leg over. So this is the arm that's going to go behind, low and behind. And then this one is the palm is facing out, and it's going to bend at the higher part of the back. And then you maybe clasp my hands behind my back. Maybe the fingers touch, maybe they don't. Maybe you're grabbing your shirt. Maybe you're trying to stretch a little bit more like that way. All I care about is that you're lifting up through the heart, feeling the stretch. One more breath. We're going to release the arms. We're going to release the legs and grab a sip of water. We're going to move into a seated warrior 2 pose. So we're going to take our right knee and open it. So your legs are at this 90-degree angle. So the important thing is to remember this knee that's facing me, that you want to keep that knee open. Okay? Let's add our arms. So our warrior 2 arms, trying to keep those arms parallel to the mat if you can. So often in my in-person classes, I'll see them here, and, So we're just trying our best to keep them parallel to the floor, all right? The other thing I want you to think about is pulling your shoulders down. That's another thing that I'll see often is here. So pull those shoulders down. And then if you want to activate your triceps, squeeze the muscles against the bones in your arms. And now we've got some tricep work going, right? All right. Here's a beautiful warrior 2. Now I'm going to look over my right fingertips. Belly is tight. This is the right hand is considered our front hand, so we're going to flip that palm to the ceiling, and then we're going to reverse our warrior. As we're reversing, what I want you to really concentrate on is fingertips to the ceiling. There's the stretch. The other hand can come to the chair. Now, you can't reach any higher towards the ceiling. Now we're going to bring it past that midline. There's that reverse warrior. If it's okay on your neck to look up, that's great. If that doesn't feel good, then just look out. It's okay too, all right? One more breath here. We're going to come back to that warrior 2. Now, the fleshy part of this right hand is going to go on the fleshy part of that right leg. I'm flipping that palm up. And here I am in a beautiful side angle pose. So the hand that's in the air, I'm going to place it on my waist and I'm going to lift my heart. So what will happen often is we'll end up here, right? So I really want you to lift up through that heart. You should feel the sternum lift. You should feel a good stretch through the upper chest. And then if you want to add the arm, add it. If you prefer to leave that hand at the waist, that's fine too. All right, we've got one more breath here. Now, the last little addition, what we're going to do is we're going to take this right hand, we're going to bring the wrist by the ankle. But again, if you're here, I don't want that heart, you can't collapse, okay? You've got to keep that heart open. There's where you're feeling that stretch. You got it? You feel it? One more breath here. All right, let's press back to that warrior 2. Squeeze the muscles against the bones and the arms. One more breath here and release. All right, let's bring that knee forward. How'd you do? Did that feel pretty good? Let's do the other side. We're going to open it up nice and wide. Remember, this knee stays open. Let's come into our warrior 2. We've got this. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. You feel it? All right, let's flip this palm up and reverse our warrior. Remember, try to touch the ceiling first, then bring it past that midline. There's the reverse. Let's go back to that warrior 2, looking over those front palms if that feels okay. Now, we're going to come into that side angle pose. So the fleshy part of my left arm now is on the fleshy part of the left leg. The palm is facing up. This hand, let's go ahead and place it on our waist and lift through that heart. You feel that? Right? Now extend that arm if you want. You don't have to. And then let's bring wrist by ankle in a beautiful side angle pose. One more breath here. All right, back up to that warrior 2. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in the arms. Squeeze, 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 and release. And we're going to bring that knee in. Okay, so that's a great version of a warrior 2 reverse warrior side angle pose. If you want a little more, because this is all about seeing if we can stretch a little deeper, right? So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to move forward in our chair. This right leg, and we're going to bring it out at a diagonal, okay? So again, knee is going to track right to that second toe. Then this left leg is going to extend out, and I'm up on the side of that foot, okay? just check it out and see. And if this does not work for you, then you're going to go back to the previous version, right? And that's fine. But if you're with me, my knee's tracking to that second toe. It's at a bit of a diagonal here. The left leg is extended long, and I'm up on the side of that leg, okay? Let's add those arms. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Let's look over those front fingertips. Flip that palm up and back. Feel the stretch. All right, we're going to come to side angle pose. Let's do it. We got this. Fleshy part of that right arm on the fleshy part of that right leg, lifting up through that arm, lifting up through the chest. Maybe the hand comes to the waist. All right, you want to add on? You want wrist by ankle? How does that feel? Is your heart lifted? Are you beginning to let the heart collapse? Don't do so. One more breath. Back to that warrior two. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. How'd that feel? Can we do the other side? Let's do it. Open that knee up. We're going to extend that leg long. You feel the difference, right? All right, here we go. Warrior two. Squeeze. Let's reverse our warrior. Flip that palm up and back. Feel the stretch. Sideways to stretching. Back to warrior two. We're going straight to that side angle pose. Remember, this hand can be on the waist. Lift through that heart. You want wrist by ankle? Hello. That's quite a stretch, isn't it? One more breath. Come back to that warrior two. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. How's that feel? Everybody okay? I know, that's quite a stretch, especially for those legs. Okay, so we're going to move into Crescent Lunge. So we're going to take our right knee, open it wide, and then we're going to let that left knee fall down towards the floor. Okay, so this is a great Crescent Lunge, and if you want to stick right here, that is absolutely fine. If you want a little bit more, I'm staying up on my back toes, but I'm going to lengthen that leg back behind me just a little bit, okay? So thinking about back of the kneecap towards the ceiling, that's a beautiful Crescent Lunge. Now we're going to add a little bit to this. So we're going to come to goalpost arms, right? Squeezing the shoulder blades back behind us. Now take your fingertips to the ceiling. Now starting with your left hand, you're going to windmill around and you're going to face me. All right, now that arm's going to come down and around, fingertips back to the ceiling, and you're going to windmill and face over your chair, the back of your chair. Hands back up to the ceiling, back to goalpost arms. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades behind us. We're looking up slightly, a little bit of a looking up, kind of where the ceiling and the wall meet. One more breath, fingertips to the ceiling. Bring your hands back to the chair. Release that leg and let's face forward. Okay, how did that feel? Kind of checking in. So remember, you can leave the arm part out if that doesn't feel really good for you. You can just stick with the legs and hang on to the chair, and that's absolutely fine. Well, let's go to the other side and see what we think, okay? So we're going to take that knee open, and the right knee is the one that's going to fall down towards the floor, and push your foot back and lift, okay? Now again, if you want that knee falling straight down towards the floor, absolutely fine. If you want a little bit more, kind of the back of the kneecap presses up towards the ceiling. I'm up on those back toes. And let's face forward, okay? So hanging out here for just a couple of breaths. Try to relax this glute. We tend to want to hold it and squeeze it. Try to relax it, right? Okay, are we ready? Goalpost arms. Here we go. Squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. I'm looking up slightly, kind of where the ceiling and the wall meet. All right, now let's release that and fingertips to the ceiling. Starting with your right arm, we're going to windmill around and face forward. Down and around, fingertips to the ceiling. We're going to windmill the other way, so now I'm over the back of my chair. Fingertips back to the ceiling. Let's go back to that goalpost arms. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades behind. One more breath. Bring your hands down to your chair and face forward. Okay. Now we're going to do that series again, and we're going to move through it a little more quickly, but the main difference is I'm going to slip my hips off of the chair. Only if you want to, right? Absolutely only if you want to. So let's go ahead and give it a try and see what we think. So take that knee open, let the knee fall down, all right? So we're holding onto that chair to begin with. Now, all you're going to do is just see how it feels if you slip your hips off. So what can happen is you can get a little deeper into that stretch. Only if you want to, right? If you're like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that, Carol, then just put your hips back on and you're fine. You're going to do the exact same thing. If you're with me, here we go. Ha! It's a little balance work too, isn't it? All right, are we ready? Go post arms. We've got this. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, looking up slightly. Remember, belly tight. Okay, here we go. Fingertips to the ceiling. We're going to windmill and face forward. Down and around, up those fingertips go. We're going to windmill and face the other way. Do you feel that stretch? Fingertips back up to the ceiling. Go post arms one more time. Squeeze, looking up. One more breath here. Release, grab the chair, slip the hips back on and face forward. How'd that feel? You want to do the other side? We can do this. Let's do it. Here we go. Open it up. Let that knee fall down. So get set, right? Get everything set first. And then if you feel like you want to slip the hips off, do so. Maybe you can deepen that stretch just a little bit. Your choice. Okay, are we ready? Go post arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, looking up. Fingertips to the ceiling. Try to touch the ceiling. Shoulders are down. Windmill and face me. Down and around, up we go. Windmill, face the other way. Fingertips to the ceiling. One more. Go post arms. Squeeze. Look up. One more breath. Release that. Grab the chair. Slip your hips on. And face forward. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to move a little bit forward in our chair. And then I'm going to take a heel, toe, so that my feet are wide, or my legs are wide. So my knees are in alignment with my toes. Now I'm going to support my upper body with my hands on my thighs and begin to let my upper body fall forward. So it's just a little seated forward fold, okay? So I'm feeling that back is stretching. My hips are feeling some stretch. One more breath here, and then we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to roll it up, back up into a seated position. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing, but this time what I'd like you to do is clasp your hands behind your back, push your hands down towards the chair and lift up through the heart. Now, if this doesn't feel okay, we're going to come and do that same forward fold. If this doesn't feel okay, then you're going to come back to the version where your hands are on your thighs, okay? But if you're okay, we're going to lift up. Now, as we begin to come forward, we're going to let our hands just kind of come up towards the ceiling. So you should feel quite a stretch through the chest, the upper arms. I even feel it in my back. And I'm definitely feeling it in my legs as well. One more breath here. Pull your belly in, and we're going to go ahead and come back up into a seated position. And release. How did that feel? Good stretch? Okay, let's heel toe those feet back together. I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to cross it over that opposite knee. I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to bring it on the outside of that knee. My other hand is going to be on the chair behind me. Extend nice and long through the spine. Take this right shoulder, pull it back, turn, and look over that shoulder. We're holding and we're breathing, so hold the movement but not the breath. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and face forward. And then we're going to release that and we're going to go to the other side. So opposite hand is going to go against the knee. The other hand will come back to the chair. Remember, lengthen nice and long through the spine. Pull that shoulder back, then turn and look. So I'm just breathing here. Nice, gentle breath. One more breath. Let's go ahead and face forward, release that, and take the leg off. Okay, so I'm going to take my right leg, extend it long, and my toes are to the ceiling. So we're moving into a pyramid pose. So I'm going to move forward just a little bit more forward in my chair. All right, so we're going to extend first. Just let the heart fall forward. Hands are on those thighs for a static pyramid pose. We have one more breath here. Tuck the chin and roll it up. Now, we're going to take our fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale here, exhale, and we're going to let those hands try to touch the wall in front of you, and then bring those hands down towards the leg, maybe the ankle, maybe the foot. It doesn't matter. Feel that stretch in that leg, the back side of that leg. All right, let's come up. We're going to do that just one more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Hold it and breathe. One more breath here. All right, let's roll up. Bend that knee, put the foot on the floor, and let's go to the other side. Extend your leg long, toes to the ceiling. Let's start by lengthening through the spine. Hold on to those thighs and let the heart fall forward. So a little static hold here. We're just going to breathe into that stretch, all right? Remembering that I'm kind of looking beyond my toes. We want to keep that back flat. Let's tuck our chin and roll up. Well, let's add extending those arms up to the ceiling. We're going to try to touch the wall in front of us, and then we're going to let those hands fall down towards the leg. And roll it up, and we're going to do that one more time. Extending nice and long. Inhale here. Exhale, try to touch the wall in front of you, and then let those hands fall down towards the leg or the foot. Doesn't matter. Feeling that stretch. One more breath, and up we go. Really, really good. We're going to move into seated pigeon. Cross ankle onto the leg. Lengthen through the spine. Let the heart begin to fall forward. So again, the back is flat. We're just feeling this stretch first. Okay, let's tuck our chin and roll up. And then just flutter the butterfly wing, just moving that hip joint a little bit. Okay, now again, extending through the spine, letting the heart fall forward. Maybe we press gently on the leg. You might feel it a little bit more, a little deeper stretch here on this, from this pigeon pose. All right, let's release that and roll it up. And flutter that butterfly wing again. In our final version, if you want to, extend your fingertips to the ceiling, try to touch the wall in front of you, and then bring those hands down towards the floor. We just have one more breath here. All right, let's roll it up and let's move to the other side, okay? So remember, our first version is we just kind of hang out here and we begin to feel that stretch into the glute. Pigeon pose. All right, let's come up. Now this next version, we're going to extend the spine long and then we're going to press gently on that leg. Just a super gentle press, but you might feel a little more stretch. One more breath. All right, let's come up and flutter that. I think I forgot that last time. It's all right. Just flutter that butterfly wing, so it's a little movement in the hip. Now the final version, extending up, extend it out, and then down we go. One more breath. All right, let's come up. Place that foot on the floor. Go ahead and sit back in your chair. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out.
Steps available to you. You have the ability, you have the opportunity, you have resources. Transform them into value. Your needs will not be met by merely focusing on those needs. To satisfy your needs and desires, you must do what you can do with whatever you have. You can't do everything, yet you can do something. Conditions are not perfect, yet they do present you with certain opportunities. Within the limitations, within the restraints, within the challenges, those very real opportunities exist. Seek to find them, to focus on them, and to act on them. Wishing for things to be easier will only make things harder. So spend your energy on productive action rather than on empty wishes or toxic resentments. There is a path from here to where you need to be. Take the steps available to you and put yourself solidly on that path.
Let's open our eyes. Drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that opposite hand down towards the floor. And release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reaching up with the hands, give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with your left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as we press that opposite hand down towards the floor. And release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Remember, click on that subscribe button and leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.